All right, guys, it's another Sunday Night Live session. I am Kevin Shaw, the editor-in-chief of the Watercraft Journal, which is the industry-leading digital daily watercraft magazine. I almost said Mopar magazine because I've been working on Mopar stuff. And I want to thank you guys for coming in. I'm glad we're doing it. We have some pretty fun stuff going on currently for the magazine. Want to do a little bit of check-in. I still get comments of people going like, well, it took 20 minutes for you to get to the point. I always preface by saying that we're doing a little bit of news so that we can get people coming in, and because it is a live session. And if you don't already know, we take the live sessions, we cut them up, and we sprinkle up 3, 4, 5-minute segments every day throughout the week. Sometimes it takes 2 weeks if it's a particularly good session. And we give a lot of that kind of content, obviously for free. There's no subscription. There's no password. There's no download. Obviously, if you are not subscribed to the Watercraft Journal newsletter, you would not know that we publish a digital magazine. We publish new articles every single day, entirely subscription free, no password, no download, no stupid PDF, no... literally, it's if you've got internet access on your phone, your laptop, a tablet, an iWatch, whatever the hell you use, you can read the magazine. There's nothing special about it. Okay, so a little bit of news first and foremost, then we'll get into the topic. All right. So number one is, if you didn't already notice, we put out the 2022 Kawasaki Ultra LXS review video. That was on Tuesday of last week. This Tuesday, we are putting out the GTX Limited 300 review that we did out in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. I still have that ski, and segueing into the third topic. But the second topic of news that I need to get off is that the GTX Limited review will be published this Tuesday. We are hoping to have the new Manitou review actually up pretty quickly, believe it or not. The Manitou review is going to be up before the Apex and Explorer reviews. Those are going to take a little bit of time. We want to get all the 2022 stuff out, but the Manitou thing kind of jumped up and had to kind of move ahead in line. So the Manitou reviews are coming up, and I expect about a week and a half's time. That should be the time frame for that one. The video will come together pretty quickly, but the video is expected to be long. It's probably going to be about 18, 19 minutes long if we can't trim it anywhere else. All right. So GTX or Kawasaki GTX Manitou. Let me get the red marker out. Big piece of news is I will be attending the Fall Mudbug this coming weekend. I show up probably Thursday afternoon. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I got to head home because the kid has school on Monday. So definitely need to let everyone know I am. It's only days away, Dave. Yes. So I will be there. I will be riding with Billy Duplessis and his crew, and we will have something very special going on. Green Hulk and the Green Hulk Garage, Greg Gaddis, and the Watercraft Journal, myself, we will be doing kind of a comparison live on the water. We're going to be swapping back and forth, but we have the 2022 GTX Limited just for a couple more weeks. In fact, I got to give it back like in the next week and a half. And then we have the Kawasaki Ultra 310LX, and we're going to be swapping back and forth. And that is going to be the footage that we use for the shootout. We were going to do the comparison. It kept getting pushed back. And I said, well, what the hell? Why don't I just bring both skis down to Louisiana with me, take it to Mudbug, and we're going to do it with Greg Gaddis, with Green Hulk Garage, and it'll be exclusive on the Watercraft Journal to have Greg as kind of a guest host. So that is what we're doing at Mudbug. So we'll be hanging out with that group. And if you want more information about Mudbug, we'll talk about it a little bit later after I get through this topic. You can also go to the greenhulk.net forum, go to events, you'll go to the Mudbug PWC rally thread, and you can go check that out. And speaking of which, everyone, Billy is here. Say hello to Billy while I take a drink. All right. I got to detail out the skis, make sure that they're filled up with gas and ready to rock. So everything is going to be great for Mudbug riding on this Friday and Saturday. So we're looking to rack up a lot of hours. We're looking at burning a lot of gas, and that will be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can get everyone here listening and ready to roll. It'd be cool if you guys showed up. I'm going to have a big fat stack of stickers, Watercraft Journal stickers. If you want a free sticker, show up. We'll be giving out stickers. I do not have jerseys or T-shirts to give out. I've given away all of that jazz. All right, so Mudbug, Greg Gaddis filming videos. Greg also has a couple surprises that he wants me to go check out. He's got a 90-mile-an-hour GP 1800R SVHO that he wants me to check out and have me set a personal best because I haven't gone over 90 yet. I topped out at 90. That was my best. So let's see if I can't go 90 on his GP and not break it like I broke his dad's 90-mile-an-hour VX. All right. So getting into the topic, I kind of wanted to harken back a little bit to my time. Last week we talked about several conversations that I had with the brass at seadoo when I went to the Manitou press release, but there was something that was not as hot that I wanted to talk about and, talk about second. And that was going to be some of the technologies that are in the Manitous and why it kind of matters, or at least why it's interesting. And I think a lot of you guys are interested in boat technology and interested in powertrain technology. There's quite a bit to chew on here. Then we're also going to jump into something that was a kind of a heavy Easter egg that was dropped in my lap. So I thought you guys would be interested in that. I don't expect this topic to run very long, so I brought out prizes. I teased them last time. If we got good questions and good super chat questions, we're going to give away prizes. All right. So I want to start 12 years ago. And 12 years ago, I was at the LA Boat Show with Huntington Beach Honda, it's a dealership, back when Honda was still making jet skis, or the Aquatrax or Aquatraxies. And I was there with who was then the general manager for Huntington Beach Honda, a guy named Mark Samuelix, and a good friend of mine who he's now actually incredibly successful at making handmade fly fishing rods. I mean, holy cow, the amount of people getting into fly fishing is really impressive, but he's doing pretty damn good making these fishing rods. So Jeff Faulkner is a friend of mine, and I've known Jeff since I was 1920. So anyway, not since 1920. I am not that old. 19/20 years old. Anyway, so we were at the LA Boat Show, and interestingly enough, we were pretty stinking close next to the Evinrude booth, which was this big monster booth. And the big hot news for the time at the time was the E-Tech two-stroke. And I was like, two-stroke? Who the hell's making two-strokes? Oh man, California is going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. And they're like, no, actually check it out. And they pulled up this piece of paper, and the LA Convention Center and the state of California both had signed off on it. And the E-Tech was the only engine that was allowed to fire up and run inside of the LA Convention Center, which they pushed a little green button and it would whoop and fire it up, and it idled And he goes, go put your hand on the exhaust. I go, what? And he goes, put your hand on the exhaust. And I went and put my hand up on to the exhaust. And holy cow, I mean, I didn't like press it up there and hold it, but you could hold your hand up to it and it was warm, but it wasn't burning your hand. And I sat there for a few seconds and was like, this is impressive. And they're like, yeah, it's like 80, 85% lower emissions than any other two-stroke on the market. And we're like, wow, dude, that's not, and it was quiet. The damn thing was quiet. And anyone who knows these engines will say the exact same thing. They're like, yeah, Kevin's right. The E-Tech was stupid quiet and didn't blow blue smoke. And, and here's the thing about the E-Tech. The E-Tech was direct injection, and it was oil injection, but it was direct fuel injection. And when I say direct injection, I mean the injector literally, here we go. Here's my prop. This is a top fuel Hemi. Well, no, this is not top fuel. This is alcohol. This is an alcohol Hemi piston that I got from Sean Crawford, who was at one point the CEO of JE Pistons. Okay, so at speed, yeah, but I mean at idle, they didn't make a damn sound. I mean, they were really quiet. I mean, compared to a two-stroke, dude. So anyway, yeah, compared to any other engine for that matter. Direct injection means that, okay, you have an intake piston, you have an exhaust piston. Oh. You have an intake valve, you have an exhaust valve. In the middle, not only do you have your spark, but then you have an injector. And the injector isn't coming from a throttle body spraying gas that runs through a runner, but it's actually directly injected into the combustion chamber. That's what direct injection implies. So the E-Tech is a direct injection two-stroke. Well, wait, where did I put it? On my desk. Okay, so now we know the sad tale of Evinrude. Evinrude. Okay, Evinrude got phased out into late 2019, and everyone's like, "Dude, are you killing that engine brand? Are you out of your mind?" Not really. They just kind of slapped the Rotax name on it, and they married the Evinrude technologies into other applications. So it's a little bit of marketing mumbo jumbo. It's a little bit of, shell game kind of stuff that they're doing. But the Evinrude E-Tech did not vanish. And it was really funny was when I first found out about the E-Tech. Now, mind you, again, this is 2010, 2011. No, it's 2010. Excuse me. There was no 11 about it. 2010, when I learned about the E-Tech, I was like, dude, this is something. This is impressive. And I mean, especially for a two-stroke engine. Well, we launched Watercraft Journal 2012. And 2013, I'm invited out to Florida to check out this brand new seadoo that's going to revolutionize the industry and yada, yada, yada. And I already knew what was going on. I knew that there was what I was told was a small one-seater, small two-seater that was supposed to be super lightweight and super cheap and going to be really inexpensive and was going to be a new entry-level watercraft. I did not know what they were going to call it. I didn't know much else about it. But everyone was saying it's a tiny little engine and it's not really accessible. And I was like, oh, they're totally going to put the E-Tech in it. They're totally going to put the E-Tech in what eventually, I knew the name Cafe. They said Cafe. I'm like, the French Canadians are not going to name this thing Cafe. They're going to call it something else. So all that being said was when the Spark was revealed, I'm like, oh, dude, it's got the E-Tech in it. And they're like, nope. And I'm like, what do you mean no? They're like, no, we put the Ace motor in there. Like, what the hell's the Ace motor? And they're like, the snowmobiles. I'm like, oh, yeah. Really? They're like, yeah, it's a 1 liter. I'm like, well, so was the E-Tech. And they're like, no. It's a 4-stroke. It's a 3-cylinder 4-stroke. Chill out. Dual overhead cam. That's what it is. All right, that's fine. I didn't think much else of it. But I really thought the E-Tech being a lightweight motor and being so fuel efficient and being completely California compliant, emissions compliant. I was like, oh, dude, it's on the shelf. Put it on. Let's do it. Such wasn't the case. So anyways, I wanted to throw that in there because I thought it was really funny. I thought the initial sparks were going to be 2-strokes. I was like, dude, that'd be rad. But that didn't happen. So anyways, so Evinrude gets dissolved, which kind of sucks. But they kind of start phasing all the Evinrude tech into other applications. Well, we found out about the Ghost Engine project and Project M, which ended up being the Switch, the Switch pontoons, the Spark pontoons. Wow, it must have been mid 2000, early 2020, and those were all going to get those were expected to all get seadoo powertrains, Rotax powertrains, the 170 and the 230 and the 100, which they eliminated the 100. If you guys didn't notice, for 2023, they got rid of the 100. You could get a 170 or a 230. They're like, no one wanted the 100. It wasn't getting out of any. It wasn't moving the boats fast enough, and so this is screw it, 170, and that's kind of what you got. Someone had told me they swapped it out to 130, but I didn't see that anywhere on the website. So my understanding is it's just 170 and 230 are your only engine options for the Spark now. For the Switch, excuse me. Can you imagine a 230 Switch or a 230 Spark? That'd be wild. That would probably kill people. Anyways, I think the 170 would kill people. I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyways, we go out to Lansing, Michigan, and they go, hey, these are 2-strokes. These new Manitous are 2-strokes. I go, what the hell are you talking about? It's 2-stroke. They're like, it's 2-stroke. It's a 150 horse 2-stroke. Now there is a 115, but they didn't have them out there. Because the 115 is weak, and they wanted to put the meaty on something that would, be fun and exciting. So they bring out these Rotax 150s. I got a hair. Okay. They bring out these Rotax 150s, and I go, where the hell is it? And they're like, dude, it's under this big deck that's hanging off the back of these things. And it's like, they say it's 25 square foot, but it's really 4 feet that hangs off the end of it. Okay. So, but it's a big wide platform on the back, and the Rotax is underneath it. And you hang your head over, and the damn outboard is almost completely submerged. And if you look at the lead art, you'll see a picture of it. That motor is maybe a foot to a foot and a half above the water line. Everything else is below the water. And you're like, whoa, that's new. Well, check it out. What's really kind of neat about the new Rotax 150 is it's the E-Tech. All right. It's direct injection, and it's oil injected, but it's a 1.9 liter. So it's bigger displacement than even the big 300 Ace motor. All right. It's a 1.9 liter, and it's a 3-cylinder. And I go, oh, okay, wait a minute. We got some technology that we need to look at. So it's a 1.9 liter. It's a 3-cylinder. It's a 2-stroke. All right. And the direct injection. I already talked about that. And the just so you guys know, it's got every one of the Manitous has like a 3.5 gallon oil reserve tank. And they're like, dude, it's going to be a really long time before you need to refill this. I can't remember the hours. I mean, it was something, it was some ridiculous number, like almost the whole season. So it's very oil efficient when it comes to burning oil. So anyways, I'm getting off topic. So I start asking about this engine. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. what's the config? What I go, what's the CCs? And they didn't have the CC number. They just said it's a 1.9 liter. I go, well, is that 1,905? Is it 1,899? Is it because there's wiggle room when you round to a 1.9 liter. All right. Everyone says that the Kawasaki is a 1.5 liter and it's 1498. And everyone says that the Yamaha is a 1.8 liter and it's 1812. And you say it's a 1.6 liter and it's, 1630. And you're like, well, I want to know the hard CC number. They didn't have it. And I've sent the email out, haven't gotten a response. So I do not know the true CC number. I want to know more about the engine because it's trifurcated. It's crankcase, cylinders, and then a cylinder head. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to know where the displacement is made up. Is it made up in stroke? Is it made up in a big cylinder bore? Is it, I want to know the math of this because I have the math of the 1630 Ace. All right. And I want to know, what does it take? What parts are transferable? Think about it this way, guys. Think about it this way. What is to say that the crankcase and the cylinder can all be transferred or can all receive, I should say it this way, can receive the overhead Ace cylinder head, the overhead cam cylinder head from the wow, I can't speak tonight. What words are hard? What the hell? Okay, let's say it this way. What if the Rotax 150, you swap out cylinder heads and you swap out pistons, you change your rings and you change out the cylinder head, and you take that E-Tech cylinder head off and you take those E-Tech pistons out and you put Ace 300 pistons in and an Ace 300 head, and now you've got a 1900 cc 300 horse or now 350 horse motor. That's where my brain goes when I hear these things. And hopefully some of you guys go, oh, crap. That's a good idea. Because I'm thinking the same thing. I don't know for fact. All right. And I think they're kind of quiet on it because they're like, don't give the ginger this information. He's going to run with it. I'm okay with that. All right. Because they know, they're like, oh, wait a minute. He's putting two and two together. And there's a lot of shared, stuff that can be moved over. That's what happens when you make modular engines. Suddenly you go, oh, wait a minute. Okay. Well, the Ace motor is a semi-wet dry, or is a semi-dry sump system. Okay. Technically, it's just I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. Let me stay on target. Keep hearing, stay on target. Stay on target. So think about it this way. If the modular parts on that 1.9 liter Rotax can be shared with an Ace motor, is the engine a monoblock? Because right now, everything I'm seeing on the new Rotax 150 is it's a bifurcated block. It's a cylinder and it's a crankcase. Aaron, I'm all for it. If you tell me otherwise, I'm all for it, but I need to see it. Because everything else is in the head. All right. I'm on Sea-Doo's website, and I'm also on Charles Pluterman's boating article that he did. And so if you've got it, Aaron, I'm all for it. And that derails where my train of thought is going. But thus far, in digging in for a week, I'm curious. All right. because no one's saying it's a monoblock. Yeah, I have dug and dug and dug, and it's not saying otherwise. So, Aaron, if you can find information on this, I'm all ears. But this is literally the only artwork they're putting. This is the only photography they're putting out on this thing. It is the only thing that I can find on the Rotax. All right, they have all these pretty pictures and all this pretty crap, but all you get is this cutaway of that engine. And from what I was told by Sea-Doo Brass, it is a 3-part block. So I'm not calling you a liar. I'm not. Please don't think I am. But I am interested in learning more about that engine because I have heard crickets from corporate. All right. So that's all I got to ask. But why I bring this up? Why I bring this up is that Rotax, Evinrude, all those guys, they are working on some pretty interesting stuff that gets me a little excited. All right. Gets me excited because the whole thing, and I know a lot of these Sea-Doo guys, or even just kind of the social media posers, they go, where's the 4-cylinder Rotax? There isn't one. All right. And the only patent that Rotax Austria has on a 4-cylinder is a flat 4 airplane engine. It's air cooled. It's a semi air cooled, because the cases, the cylinder cases are air cooled. But that is the only 4-cylinder. It's a flat 4, so 2 pistons going like this. And it's an airplane engine. It's not a water-cooled inline 4. They have all their patents for everything else is an inline 3. So everyone who's like, well, where's the Sea-Doo 4-cylinder? They're not doing one. All right. And they just went up to 1.6 liters. And now the Rotax has a 1.9. So I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention to displacement because they share so much stuff. And it's a marinized engine. It's a marine engine. So now you got my dander up. Now I'm paying attention. All right. And you're like, okay, well, where do we go from here? Because believe it or not, the 300 came out 5 years ago, model year to model year. So 300 horse. I mean, 300 horse is 300 horse. Let's not argue with that. And the fact is that the RXPX is still the fastest fastest accelerating production watercraft on the market today. Still is 0 to 60. It's still the fastest accelerating watercraft there is on the market today. And top speed wise, guys are getting gnarly speeds out of the ST3. So who's to say that a 1.9 liter 330 horse tabletop style torque curve Sea-Doo is not in the future? That is what I was teased. Not specifically, but I was teased certain things for the high performance guys, and that there is technology here in the Rotax that I should be paying attention to. And this is why they brought the jet ski guy out. All right. There is no logical reason to spend $3,000 to bring my stupid ass out to Lansing to go ride around on some pontoon boats. If it wasn't for, let's see if this idiot's paying attention. And they're dropping breadcrumbs the entire time. Guys, Sea-Doo dropped cash to fly me out and put me in a hotel room that was probably the nicest hotel room that I'd been in a really long time, and to feed me very nice food and to drive me all over the place. I'm sure if I tallied it up, it would be over $4,000 to bring me out Why me? Honestly. All right. Follow the money. Always. This is where my brain goes every time. Okay. Why bring me out? Is the jet ski guy going to drop $152,000 on a 600 horsepower, full length, 26-foot Manitou? Probably not. Probably not. Don't get me wrong. There's guys like Jerry Gaddis who have a $250,000 center console boat, or now it's close to $400,000. The last one I saw was a quarter. Now it's probably over $4 because he keeps trading up to nicer boats. But let's just be real straight, dude. Let's be real straight. They bring me out because they want to dangle these carrots and go, let's see if he pays attention. And let's see if he's going to put the 2 and 2 together. This is what tonight is about. I am telling you, there is something happening. Okay? And to that effect, that same final dinner that I told you guys about last week, that same final dinner where James Hines is talking about the Spark and talking about the performance enthusiast who okay, good. Aaron wrote back. Okay, Aaron writes, I'm 99% sure it's the same 150 horsepower E-Tech powerhead, except modified to run on the horizontal plane instead of vertical with the addition of the extra helical gear set. Okay, very good. Aaron, thank you very much. I'm going to take I'm pretty much going to take your comment and I'm going to put it in my follow-up to BRP. Because I was able to talk to James Hines. James Hines was there representing the engine side of the tech, even though he's not an engineer at all. Because they had the deck designer, the guy who designed all the that's why I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Aaron. That helps. It really does. All right. Because I was told there was a lot of technology in there that was modular to bring it up to the 1.9 liter. Because my understanding was that the old E-Tech wasn't that displacement, was smaller. I thought it was a 1.5. Now, is that true? Correct me. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if the displacement of the old 150 was 1.9. Because I was told differently. So, if you're listening, I'm putting it out in the ether. I want to know, Aaron, especially because you were a tech for that long. So, anyways, at that same dinner, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth because I really want to get Aaron's take on that. So, at that same dinner, my last night there, I was sitting next to James. He's talking to me about the Sparks. He's talking to me about the low-tech enthusiast who just wants the Go Trigger. I get hit up by the French-Canadian marketing people, and they go, what do you think about the Rise? I go, the electric jet board, the surfboard? And they go, yeah. And right out of the gate, I'm like, it's to get Trudeau off your ass. And they both start laughing. And I'm like, yes, to get the government off your butt. I understand. I'm like, listen, I literally just got Mopar Connection magazine, which is our other sister, the other publication I do. We interviewed Tim Knitsky, the CEO of Dodge. And we're like, dude, this electric all-wheel drive Banshee Charger that pumps out sound, fake exhaust sound. And he kind of smirked and he's like, what do you expect us to do? We're making 800 horsepower trophy trucks. We're making 9-second quarter-mile drag cars that we sell to the public. We know who's in the White House. We know who's making policy. We have the EPA breathing down our neck. What do you expect us to do? And I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, I'm telling you right now, it's not the same sound. It's not the same sound. But I appreciate the deep cut, David. but it's not the same sound. But there's 2 David Pate accounts going. Oh no, it's the same one. Sorry, I saw 2 different icons. But he's like, we had to make a show of effort to say, hey, listen, it was a Dodge. Yes, that's correct. But it was a turbocharged 4-cylinder. It was the same motor that was in the GLHS, which Carroll Shelby helped tune. So, interestingly enough, I make the joke. I'm like, yeah, you guys are. I'm like, I already know that the iGTI or the eGTI or the GTI-E or the EI-GTI-E, yada, yada, yada. And that's when I made the joke about having names. I'm like, oh, guy, please. I'm glad that the Rise has a name instead of a alphabet soup. And they all laughed. They're like, actually, that's an inside joke with all of us, is that we all hate the letters. They're like, we want to rename everything with names. We want to give it names. That's why the Manitou has, the Explorer and the Manitou. Scott, you have to kiss the ring, or they're going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. You understand that, right? I mean, no, and don't get me wrong, I'm not being a jerk about it. But you have to understand, you're a multi-billion-dollar company, and the government can come down and shut you down if you don't do the thing they want you to do. You're gonna do it, all right? And if you think the current administration, oh yeah, we all understand, we all get it, okay? We all understand, because the government's gonna be like, nope, no more. You're not going to get any more tax breaks. You're not going to get any more emissions breaks. You're not going to get any more tariff breaks. You're not going to get any more port ingress breaks. We're going to make your life a living hell. And the government can literally do that to any one of those auto manufacturers. So I made that kind of comparison to Sea-Doo. And I'm like, I can't imagine what Canada is doing to you guys. And they're like, it ain't great. And I'm like, okay, Aaron wrote back. I'm sorry, I'm taking a break on this one. I can confirm that the G2 150 horse outboard was indeed a 1.9 liter. The outboards had casting spots not cut out for the power valves that look like they finally implemented in this new 150 Rotax. Okay, thank you. You're giving me hard data. All right, I'm taking screen captures right now, because I need all this information. Aaron, thank you very, very much. That's important. Okay. So it is a 1.9 liter monoblock. Okay. All right. That is very, very helpful. Okay. That's what I wanted to know, because that makes any sort of transitioning to a 4-stroke nigh impossible. So I wonder what is being shared, because they're hinting at stuff that would be shared. That's the whole impetus for tonight's talk, or tonight's lesson, is I was told there is potential transferable technology, modular technology, that could segue into a larger displacement ACE motor. So that helps out. Aaron, that helps out a lot. I want to thank you very much. In fact, Aaron, I think you've gotten them before, but I want to send you a couple stickers. Please email me your mailing address, info@watercraftjournal.com, info@watercraftjournal.com. I want to send you some stickers because I owe you. That helps out a lot. So thank you very much. All right. The E-Tech G1 was 2.6 liters or 1.6 liters? Because you said the word only. Okay, cool. Good to know. Thank you again. That means a lot. I want to express my gratitude because you're the only person giving me information. All right, so moving on. So I'm sitting there and they're laughing about what I made the joke about. I'm like, yeah, it's to get the government off your ass. And they're like, well, you know, there's a lot of technology that we're having to pioneer that is marinized. And I was like, okay. And they said, so even if the Rise is a boutique item, there's technology and money invested that will go elsewhere. So I stop and I go, okay, wait a minute. I'm like, you guys have been working on the eGTI, the electric GTI, for years. I've been reporting on it for years. It's been like 3 years I've been reporting on this thing. And they're like, yeah. And I said, you guys are talking about a 2025 release? And he says, probably safe to say 25. He said, we initially thought 24, but it might be 25. Don't hold me to it. I said, that's fine. Understand. Time frames change. Hell, the Spark got pushed back. Cowie pushed back the entire redesign of the 310 models for 22 instead of 21. So I understand there's pushback. I understand scheduling. You know, hell, it might be 26 for all I know. So things change. That's fine. We all understand. There's a bunch of people like, oh, Kevin said the new Spark was coming out. Where's the new Spark? He's full of shit. I'm like, dude, things change. Are you kidding me? Look at the economy right now. Anyone who has a 401k was collectively crapping their pants last weekend or last Thursday and Friday. All right. You lost damn near everything. A lot of people with 401ks that they just kind of put money into, they lost their shirt on Thursday and Friday. So let's just understand things. You lost half, Stan? You lost half of your 401k? Oh, bro. Stan, email me your address. I'm going to send you some stickers. That ain't going to help out, but you just stopped my heart a little bit. That sucks. Oh my gosh, buddy. I am so sorry. Oh, broski. Everyone's bringing in. The broski's like, he goes, I lost all my gains and a third of my total value. You lost a third of your base investment. Oh my gosh. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Okay, well, at least you know that Kevin's not some crazy psychopath making up BS. Oh, wow. All right, guys, I'm sorry. That sucks. Oh, that sucks. Okay, yeah, my heart goes out to you. That's a drag. I pray to God you're not in west side of Florida either. Oh, there are some people who have been wiped out by Ian, and I don't know what to say. Fort Myers is wiped out. Sanibel Island is gone. The island's gone. I mean, it's a sandbar. It took feet off that island. The bridges are all gone. Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm sorry, fellas. That's awful. Okay. Okay. So the Rise here. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys even care about electric jet boards. All right. Radin, the brand Radin, or Radinn. They advertise at the Watercraft Journal. We do articles on their jet boards all the time. I got a woman who writes for us named Ocean, her name is Ocean. I do not know if she was conceived at Woodstock, but her name is Ocean. And she loves writing about the Radin boards for us. So I'm like, you're getting all the content. So she just absolutely jumps. She lives on a houseboat with a bunch of dogs. She's outstanding. She's a lot of fun. But she's been writing for us for a few years. And when we got Radin board, she's like, can I do everything on it? I go, go right ahead. You have fun, sweetheart. And she jumped on it. So anyways, we've been covering Radin board stuff, and I don't know anything. I really don't know much about it except for whatever we report on. And you know, they're a little bit close to the vest, and that's fine. I understand. They're not cheap. They're like $12 grand, $13 grand, $14 grand for these things. They're not cheap. They're expensive. And Sea-Doo wants to beat Raiden's price point, which, okay, cool. You know, I don't know battery life. I don't know thrust. I don't know power output. But they're looking at me as we're talking about the Spark redesign, and they're like, "What do you think about the Rise?" I go, "Okay," you know, and I you know me, I go on tangents. Surprise. But as I'm talking about Spark, and they go, "What do you think about this?" My lizard brain in the back just goes, "Whoa! Why are you bringing that up?" And I had to chew over my notes, and I was like, Sea-Doo wouldn't just introduce one electric watercraft. Yeah, they're working on the GTI. It's 3-seaters, full size. You put you and 2 kids on it, or you and your wife and a kid on it, you're eating that battery in 20 minutes. But you put the surfboard powertrain in a Spark, an electric Spark, how long is that going to last? Now I'm asking questions. This is where I want you guys to kind of get inside of my brain a little bit here. All right? See the questions I'm asking. Wait a minute. You're not going to dump the kind of money that it takes to build an electric Sea-Doo, and you're not going to take the time to dump the money. I mean, okay, this year they introduced the electric motorcycles. Those aren't marinized engines. They're not water sealed. I mean, they're weather proof, but they're not in water. Right? Then they bring me out. They introduce me to this new Rotax engine that they hint all this stuff at it. And then they go, hey, here's the most interesting feature about this E-Tech is that the damn thing's submerged. And we figured out how to submerge an engine and keep it cool and keep it from overheating. Okay. Curious. And then they sit there and go, hey, Kevin, we want to ask you, what do you think about the Rise, the surfboard? I'm kind of like, all right, I'll bite. But now I'm kind of going click, 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 click. I'm putting it all together. All right. You see where I'm going with this one? You see my conspiracy theories all come together? Does that make sense? We got a large displacement engine. It's modular, according to them. Got to ask. Aaron helped me out a lot, but whether it's true or not, we'll ride that train. Okay. So there's this engine. We learned how to completely seal it. We believe that it'll be waterproof and watertight. Okay. What do you think about the jetboard engine? Because it's completely waterproof. We have it sealed. And it's in a surfboard, for God's sake, so it's always underwater. It's an electric surfboard. Guys, those things are always in the water. All right? And then we talked for an hour about the new Sparks. Do you see where I'm going with this? All right? Is there a potential for a large displacement Rotax engine? Maybe. Even if the Rise, the surfboard, fails terribly, which I don't expect it to because the Raidens are selling. But all that being said, the money, time, and development that's poured into the Rise surfboard can be transferred over to the Spark. And they said so themselves. They didn't say Spark, but they said that powertrain will end up in other stuff. I said, okay, I'm listening. That is what I am telling you. As much as I talked about, hey, the guys at BRP in Canada are messing around and put a 1630 Ace in, well, it's not supercharged, but they put a 130 and 170 Ace engine in the redesigned Spark. Whether they'll sell it or not with 130 horse or even a 1630 engine in it, I don't know. All I can report is that they've got one. All right. The guy didn't lie to me. They've got one. But manufacturers make test mules that can do stupid shit all the time. Whether they produce it or not, I don't know. So, all that adds up. I'm putting ingredients out on a table. I'm not actually constructing a cake here. I'm just putting stuff out. If you catch what I'm putting out there, man. All right. So I think Sea-Doo is cooking up a good 7-year plan. That's what I think. I think Sea-Doo is cooking up something that could be really bitching. I think they're cooking up, obviously we know the electric GTI, but I think they're cooking up an electric Spark. I think they're also cooking up a large displacement Ace engine further down the line. I think they're cooking up a lot of really bitching stuff that's going to keep us very interested for a long time. I also believe that there's going to be a Spark X, a high-performance Spark. I also believe that we will eventually lose, I want to say, half of the alphabet soup names. That's kind of what I'm putting together. I joked that the RXPX should just be named the Apex. The Apex 300. Get rid of the RXPX name. Drop the alphabet soup. Give it a name. That's my opinion. I hate the letters. I do. I really, really do. So that is kind of what I'm putting together. Do I have fact on it? Nope. Is this a waste of your time because you want hard facts with a smoking gun? Sure. Okay. Whatever. Go do something else. Okay. This is for people who like this kind of fun crap. All right. What does RXPX stand for? Well, the RXPX mutated out of the XP because there was the HX, then there was the XP, and then they made the RXP, and then what was it 2008? They made the RXPX. So that's kind of the evolution of RXPX. There was an RX model, right? Is that what the RX or the RXTX and the RXPX? I'm trying to remember where there was an XT, wasn't there? There was an XT. That was the larger 3-seater. There was the XP, and then there was the RXTX. Yeah. There was the RXX. You're right, Billy. Very good. Yeah, that's right. The RXX. Boy, I remember that one. Did I ever ride one? I don't think I ever rode one. The RXX. The RX was a 2-stroke 2-seater. And then early 2000s, 951. But then they made it longer, and they made the RXT. And then after that, well, at the same time they made the RXPX, they made the RXTX because they both had the 255 engine. Because I went to Lake Shasta for that press intro in 2007. Okay. All right. Well, let's do that. I think we're it. I didn't even miss my trash can. How did I do that? Trash can's this big and I missed it. Jeez. Wish I was a baller. Wish I had a girl. Wait. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good. I would call her. Wish I had a rabbit with a bat and a hat and a 6'4" Impala. Right? Is that right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Kevin's rapping. Oh, wait. Yeah. Ski low. That's right. Karaoke night. Let's do karaoke night. That'd be funny. I can't sing the whole. I get lyrics wrong so bad. My brain does not process lyrics. So my wife knows every. She knows every advertising jingle. Everything. I'm telling you. But I do not have the brain for lyrics. In fact, I have gotten so mad at her over the years because I'm 4 years older than her. I'm a Carter baby, and I'm like singing along to old Paul Simon songs or Fleetwood Mac, and she's looking at me like, that's wrong. And I go, no, that's the song. She goes, you're singing it wrong. And I'm like, no. She pulls up Google. Sure enough, I've been singing it wrong for 44 years. I swear. I think I had a stroke last year. I think something's wrong. All right. I think we had some super chats. All right. Hey, yo, Mikey. Question number 2. Is there a first one? Yeah, there's the first one. Question. Hey, Kevin. Looking to do East Coast Watercross IGSBA next year. I'm noticing a lot of racers have racing mentors or coaches that help train them. How do I find one? Got any free time? You don't want any advice from me. You don't want any advice from me. I mean, I could give you some advice, but my advice ain't worth shit. The problem is that the community of racing is incredibly small. And everyone has rubbed everyone the wrong way. Everyone's burned a bridge. Racers are notorious for burning bridges. So the minute that you hitch up with some guy, you inherit all of his crap. I'm not lying, okay? And that it just sucks. It's like, oh, hey, Kevin went and hung out with Brian Baldwin and rode his 85-mile-an-hour national championship winning ski. Would you like to know the hate mail I got because people don't like Brian? Okay, well, I'm going to meet up with Arminio Iantosca, and I'm going to ride his ski, and we're going to do an interview with Arminio. Oh, you know what? Oh, the bridges that guy's burned. Oh, that guy. Oh, rah, 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 rah. Okay, well, I'll hang out with Eric Lagopoulos. Oh, Eric. Oh, dude. Rah, 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 rah. Oh, well, I'm going to go visit Chris McCluggage at his Tequesta store. Oh, Chris McCluggage. Rah, rah, rah. I'm like, dude, I'm so sick and tired of hearing you're complaining. You guys, I mean, honestly, the complaining I hear from people, it's just ridiculous. It's like, is your life so pathetic that you have to go to a YouTube channel and bitch about jet skis and that I don't like the same jet ski you like? Dude, go pound sand. Seriously. All right. And Mikey's got a second question. I got to answer that too. Question number 2, Yamaha FX hull, spider cracking on the keel before the intake grate. Totally common. After I clear coated it, yes. I want to put gel coat on the bottom. Will it change the way it rides? No. What's happening is that if you're looking at racing, Mikey, you're the kind of guy who's putting a lot of stress on the Nano 2 hull. All right. Now, they reinforced the intake grate bolt mounts on the inside. So the fiberglass bosses on the inside have been reinforced. It's thicker. All right. But it's still, the integrate is still pulling down and trying to separate from the hull. So it's still flexing and it's still pulling on that. And you still have that eggshell paint. And that eggshell paint is going to start cracking. Now you've gel coated it. So effectively what you've done is that you've put resin on you ever seen like really old oil paintings? And if you zoom in on like, the Mona Lisa, you'll see all this cracking and all of this spider webbing. Well, they put, I don't want to say clear coat, but they've put sealant on a lot of these paintings that won't allow the cracks to spread and the gaps to widen. That's effectively what you've done with your paint job. So it'd be completely spiderwebbed from head to toe, but you're not going to have the fissuring. You're not going to have the spreading. It's just going to have stress cracks all up and down the damn thing. because Yamaha keeps painting their skis using automotive paint, and they don't have a really good flex additive in it. So that's what they keep doing. The clear coat is to keep it from exacerbating. It's to keep it from spreading. And then as it spreads, it lets water in. Water intrudes. It starts to peel away. And then you peel it all off, and then you delaminate your ski. Does that make sense? Have I lost you? Okay. Michael writes, Kevin, lately I have seen a lot of photos of Sea-Doo ST3 hulls that have cracked. Looks like all in the same spot near the front bottom of the hull. Owners have said they haven't hit anything. What do you think? I know all about it. And I told you all about it. But I'll do it again. All right. So they are all cracking. If you're looking at it, it's on the front right side, down towards the bottom, inside of that concave, kind of that teardrop shape. It's all happening inside of there. And why is it happening there? I wish I could give you a model. Okay, we're going to use my water bottle if my hands would work. All right. So let's pretend this is the mold for the hull. All right. And here's the front, here's the back. And the point of injection is on the furthest side. I mean, there's multiple points. Don't get me wrong. Any idiot would call you a fool if you only injected it at one point. But what's happening with the molding process, because what they do is that they take a sheet of laminate, they put it into a vacuum mold, and it goes, and it turns into a boat. It's terrible. Oh my God. All right. They vacuum mold it into a hull. All right. But it's still just a sheet of acrylic. So what they do is that they put that acrylic sheet that's molded into the mold. This is the stupidest thing I've ever done. Okay. I need to go get my kid's Barbie boat. Remember that? You guys remember the Barbie bathtub? All right. So that acrylic sheet is in the mold, and then they take that liquefied fiberglass, the white CM Tech, that's what CM Tech is, and they inject it into the mold. All right, let's pretend this pink Post-it note is the entire hull. And that goes in everywhere. And when it dries and it cures, they pop up in the mold, and now you've got a hull and a deck that you can glue together, and now you have a Sea-Doo. All right. And, actually the Yamaha does this. Anyway, I'm being a jerk. Sorry. Here's the problem. Why are they all cracking in that one spot? Because there's an air pocket that can't get pushed out. They can't get that last bit of air out of the mold to push all that fiberglass in. So it's a thin spot. It's thin. And that's what they're fighting with. It's a thin spot. All right. It's how they're made. Now, Yamaha or Sea-Doo is going to be like, no, it's not. It's something else. And they hit something and they wrote it wrong and they ran it up a beach and they hit an iceberg and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Corporate's going to say something. But they're quietly going, fuck, we got to fix this. So it's an air pocket in the mold. It's an air pocket in the injection molding process. That's it. Just an air pocket. Same thing happens with plastic when they mold plastic. Same thing happens with any mold. All right. I cut my teeth on the molding process when it came to pouring cylinder heads, engine blocks, and intake manifolds. All right. And the porosity of the metal, or the porosity of the media, they call it a media, the product or the material that you're pushing through the mold. You're worried about porosity, how much air is in it itself. So it's got little air pockets, and the integrity of the integrity of the mold. And then you're also worried about, okay, media porosity, mold integrity, and evacuation. Evacuation was the last one. And if it can evacuate all the air. If it can't evacuate the air and let all the media in, it's a bad mold. You got to make changes to the mold. Okay. Sorry, I'm digging into 10-year-old information that I haven't pulled up in a long time. Okay. Henry writes, heard you say Cowie paint is more durable. It's not paint. Should I sell my Superjet and get an SXR? You've already asked this question. For the love of God, stop asking. Henry, you've asked it in the comment section. I've answered you. I appreciate the super chat. But good Lord. You know what? Get out of jet skis. Just get out of jet skis. Because you're too much of a coward. You're too scared. Just get out of it, dude. Get into crochet and make Afghans like with old ladies. Seriously, man. Seriously. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. I don't think you've ridden your shit. I don't think you've ridden anything. I think you own it and you're scared of it. You're scared to ride it. Because, boy. Christopher writes, Kawasaki electric bikes, 2000 or October 4th, electric ski soon? No. They don't reach the volume. Kawasaki simply doesn't reach the volume. So they're not on the radar. They're bikes. They're a bike manufacturer. You ask Kawasaki, what do you guys do? They're a bike manufacturer. All right. So that's, yeah, they're going to put that kind of stuff in. Aluminum hulls are stamped. They're not molded. So yeah, aluminum hulls are stamped. You don't have to worry about it. And I know there's a bunch of guys who are like, oh, there should be aluminum jet skis. I'm like, dude, do not give jet skiers that little of freedom. You will regret it. Oh, the manufacturers will regret that decision. I'm telling you, don't. That would be the worst idea possible for a manufacturer to start making. Oh, yeah. Henry super chat. Okay. Sorry, I wanted you to say something funny. You made my laugh. Made me laugh. What do you think of the Jet Ski Brothers channel? They swapped in the LS8. Okay. So, Mopar Connection magazine, we have a really good relationship with Holly. Holly pumped out a ton of product to support the Jet Ski Brothers project where they put an LS3. It's an LQ4 motor, and an FZR. And the guys from Holly were like, what do you think about this? I'm like, terrible idea. They're like, what do you mean? I go, it's a terrible idea. And they're like, what do you mean? I go, besides the weight, because it's an iron block motor. It's an LQ4. It's a 5.3 liter. All right. It's not a 5.7. It's not an all aluminum motor. And I go, first, heavy ass motor. Excuse me. It's heavy ass motor. Number two, the SVHO motor spins 8,000 RPM. I go, how many naturally aspirated LQ4s regularly spin north of 7,500 for prolonged periods? And they all laugh. They're like, none. I go, precisely my point. And I'm like, to make any power, don't get me wrong, low end torque, okay, great. Here's the problem. That's cavitation. Yamahas are already known for having horrendous cavitation. All right. So he's just going, bah! He's doing a burnout. Okay. He's not processing any water. The big issue with that thing is, Henry, you have a Superjet. I'm going to give you something for a Yamaha. What size shirt do you wear? Do you wear an XL? Because this is what this shirt is. It's an XL, and it's a wave blaster. You want this shirt? I popped my top off at you. You had a decent question. You got me talking about Jet Ski Brothers. I'll give you a shirt if you wear an XL. All right. So, Broski said they upgraded to a 6-liter aluminum block and a gearbox. Okay, well I haven't paid attention to that then. Where the heck did they put a gear? How do they make a gearbox? Medium, but my dad does, and I have a Sea-Doo as well. Okay, well, I got Manitou. You know what you need? I'll tell you what you need with your Superjet. I'm going to give you here, Henry. Email me your address. I'm going to give you this phone case because you need a waterproof phone case when you ride your Superjet around in circles at 5 miles an hour because you're afraid of cracking the paint. Email me your address and I'll mail you a phone case. There we go. Cool. All right. Yeah, they made a gearbox. All right, cool. Hey, I didn't know that. I just knew that they were spinning their wheels going 60 miles an hour and trying to get that damn thing to go. I mean, once you're married to it and it's clickbait, you're gonna keep going. You know, you're gonna keep grinding on it. It runs 70 plus. Okay, cool. If it runs 70, then don't hit anything, Henry. Don't hit anything. And I know you're worried about it cracking, but guess what? You're not going 70 miles an hour. You're not. I'm listening to your questions. Henry's gonna hit him. I know you didn't hit anything, but you're not going fast enough to stress that hull. And that's what you're worried about. You're worried about it stressing. And I guarantee, all right, you're not Dustin Matsuras. You're not riding that hard. I promise you. I promise you, you're not hurting it. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And if you're really I almost killed myself when some crazy person let me take out their H2 motorcycle. Yeah, I almost killed myself on a GSXR. So yeah, Gixxer, GSXR. It was like 1997, and I was in flip-flops. Terrible idea. All right. All right. Let's get some good questions, super chats, and see if we can't put some give away some of this crap. I don't want it. How is there enough room in the hull for an LS3 and a gearbox? That's my point. All right. All right. Did I miss any more super chats? I think I did. I think I missed a super chat. Let me go up. Raymond writes, thanks for all of your content. It's priceless. Just made an informed purchase on my first PWC after watching a lot of your content. Well, thank you very much. Raymond, I appreciate the super chat. All right. Let's see here. Question. So a little off topic, but if you get a minute, I was pulling my skis today to clean them and take to get winterized and oil change, etc. done. But while I was scrubbing the bottom of my Kawasaki Ultra LX, I noticed there is a group of these little bubble looming things. My local marina said they are blisters and should be covered under warranty. Anyone ever heard of this? Is it something I did? There is not a single scratch on my hull. What it could be is orange peel. Anyone who's painted a car knows what orange peel is. Now, is the blister an invert? Or, I mean, is it going in or is it popping out? Does it look like a zit or does it look like a dent? You know, little blister inside. Because all that means is that the painted surface or the gel coat surface, because they use gel coat, even though gel coat is very thick, gel coat is a hyperprotective base paint, it still responds like a paint. All right. If you have an oil or a contaminant on the surface and you paint on it, it will tend to separate, and it'll actually what looks like orange peel. It looks like the skin of an orange, and it can be big. Will it be bad? Will it fail? No. On an Ultra LX, you'll be fine. I really don't think you'll have a big problem with it. I don't think you'll see any sort of failure or cracking or splitting. You can send pictures to your dealership and go, hey, I'm worried about this, and see what they say. But I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one. That is simply orange peel. All right. Oh, Billy. Okay, it might be this. Billy's right. Joseph, I've seen water blisters in my footwells years and years later in life. It's from water seeding in the footwells from over time. I've never seen it on the bottom of any hulls because the tops are painted, it's still gel coat, but they're painted over the gel coat. That's a good question. Joseph, do you wear a size XL shirt? If you do, email me info@watercraftjournal.com, your address, and you can have the Wave Blaster shirt. Otherwise, it'll be something else. All right. Let's see. Oh, we got a super chat down here in the bottom. David Pate writes, question, have you ever had to tow your ski with a Charger? No. I would never launch a jet ski with drag slicks. I would never, ever do that. So, yeah. I thought for the photo op, it would be kind of cute, but we get some pretty slick launch ramps around here. And I'm not terribly inclined to get the back of my Charger wet. Plus, I'd have to weld a trailer hitch on the back of it. And unless I'm doing drag week, which I've toyed with the idea of doing drag week, but my effort at Power Tour didn't go very well. So I'm not really interested. Well, that's what the line lock's for. Les. All right. Let's get something. That made me laugh out loud. That was really good. Les, what do you want? You want a Yamaha hat, a Manitou hat, what the hell is this? A Euphoria travel towel, or a Manitou thermal tumbler? That was really funny. That made me laugh. All right. Lasnat. Yeah, hit me up on that one. Dealer told me to add $5,000 to MSRP for taxes, trailer, and fees. Yeah, well, welcome to the new economy. Yay! Hope you guys have food storage. Giovanni, Kevin, is this guy Henry always here with these ridiculous questions? LOL, I'm going crazy reading them. Henry's a good guy. He went out and bought a super jet. The guy bought a stand-up. So I'm all for it. All right. And he's not an asshole. You know what I mean by an asshole? We have a shirt for it, but he's not like asking me advice and then telling me like, F your advice, I'm going to do something else. He's actually legit, and he seems like a pretty decent guy. I suck at riding them worse than Kevin. I admittedly am not a very good stand-up rider. All right. Clutch Up Anthony writes, do you think any aftermarket companies will make a product to help the Jet Blaster wheelie more like a Spark? If there's demand, sure. If you know a CNC machinist, I'll tell you what, guys. All it is, I'm playing with the lid for the tumbler. All it takes, it's just a nozzle, okay? And as long as the nozzle can clear and get up high enough, all you have to do is change the positioning on the nozzle for the cable. All right, the trim cable pulls up on it, and it'll go up. So if you take a minute and take apart the trim nozzle on a Jet Blaster and see if what the restriction is, then you go to a CNC shop and go, hey man, can you machine this so that it pulls further back? And they go, yeah, I can do that. And they put it on a lathe, and they sit there, or they put it on a Bridgeport. They cue it up, tap a new hole, thread it, a little ball mount, threaded ball mount, unthread it, put it in your new hole, and now all of a sudden that thing goes whoop, and that's all you need to do. Now, if it's a part, why don't you start making them, make about 100 of them, and sell them with an instruction, and bam, you're good. Now you're selling a jet blaster that can do wheelies, or you can sell the mechanism or sell the part to get people to do wheelies. Dunzo. All right. Language barrier, Sharon. Ye's tying. Oh, boy. I'm having a stroke. Yeah, Sharon, I can't read that one. Get a pump wedge. I have one. Those 3D printed. Get more angle on the nozzle and you get to wheelie. I mean, yeah. You do. That's permanent, though. M. Roz writes, after watching your rear extension live chat, I'm considering buying one for the FX SVHO. I like the idea that it's not permanent. What would happen with my cover? Well, no, it won't fit with your cover. So you take it off, put it in the bed of your truck or in the back of your SUV or in the trunk of your car and put the cover on your ski and drive to wherever. And I know Kevin's saying, put a cover on his ski. Whatever. I don't care. All right. Some people want to argue that advice. Fine. Put a cover on your ski. Wrap it in saran wrap. Spray it with Pam. I don't care. I'm tired of giving advice that people scream and bitch about. If you're literally going to come here and leave comments and say, you're an idiot, well, then don't be here. Is your life so meaningless that you have to be a bitch and answer? And I see videos on YouTube that I disagree with. I don't leave comments. I don't care. I don't care enough. It doesn't consume my life enough that I'll be like, you're a dummy, and I think you're stupid, and I don't like your hair, and I think you're cross-eyed. Dude, are you that small? Are you that alone? What the hell's wrong with you? just don't understand. I really don't. Parents just don't understand. There's another late 80s rap song. Your hair's okay. You know what's nice? It's mine. You can pull on it. And it's not going to fall out. So I'm okay with that. In fact, I need a haircut. I'll get a haircut before I go out to Mudbug. Sharon, you got to hit your auto translate because I don't know what you're saying. I really don't. Okay. Get a pump wedge. Sell it, buddy. Got anything else? We're already at a minute 23. Shane. Oh, Shane. Come back, Shane. Shane writes, just traded in my Spark for a brand new GTX 170. Besides the bow hunting, I love the ski. The only problem is the speaker system didn't work when I got it. Have you heard anything about this from others? Yes. Yes. That's why I've done videos saying stop buying sound systems. Stop buying this crap and just learn to ride and enjoy your ski. It's literally the reason. And it's funny because I guess I owe like a formal apology for like 10 years of people, maybe even more, maybe like 14 years of people. Because every time there was like, oh, Sea-Doo's got a new suspension system, or there's a new brake and reverse system, or here's the new whoop-de-doo, and here's the new dashboard, and here's the new da-da-da, and there's another thing, and another thing. There'd be this group of guys who are like, just more crap to break, more crap to go wrong. Rah, rah, rah. Just give me a go trigger and I'm good to go. And guess what? I'm now one of them. I'm totally one of them. I've totally become one of these just grouchy dudes who's like, dude, just learn to ride. Quit being such a pansy and just ride your ski. Just enjoy the damn thing. Listen to the wind and the engine. Quit trying to play your freaking music that no one else wants to listen to. I'm totally one of those guys now. I'm so one of those guys. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. I absolutely just rail on all the new technology. I can't take it. I can't take the phone integration. I can't take all the plug-in, the apps and the downloads and the wires and the USB ports and the easy bake ovens and the adjustable seats and oh God, make it stop. Yes, I will be videoing Mudbug. I'm going to shoot for 3 videos for Mudbug. First, the comparison of the GTX versus the Ultra. That's number 1. That's the most important thing. Number 2 is just going to be a recap of me going to Fall Mudbug. I'm bringing my 8-year-old daughter with me. I'm hanging out with people I love. I'm going to have a hell of a good time. I've been wanting to do Mudbug all year. I haven't done a really fun ride in probably 7 months. I just haven't not been enjoying jet skis. I really haven't. I'm going to be really honest, guys. Probably haven't enjoyed jet skiing most of this year, to the point that I haven't even really gone out. All right. That sea-doo that I've got, I think I've put maybe 4 hours on. Maybe. I'm just disinterested. I'm just disinterested. There's not a lot that excites me. There just isn't. And, the industry has been a lot of politics. The industry has been a lot of complaining and crying. The YouTube channel has been great. You guys are awesome. You guys are fun. I love doing the live chats 99.8% of the time. But for every 10 awesome comments, I get some total dickweed who has to come in and be like, you suck, you're an F-tard. I'm like, how pathetic are you? I mean, seriously. I mean, I'm really sorry that you have to sit down to pee for your entire life, but what grotesque satisfaction do you get from leaving shitty comments on YouTube channels? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not that thin-skinned, but it's exhausting. It's exhausting. It really is, And all those guys are like, I'm doing this for my haters and screw the haters and yo haters, hate on this haters. It's like, dude, what? I can't live my life in total. It's exhausting. It's tiring. I mean, it's tiring just answering questions from Henry. But I mean, it's just like, dude, all right. I'm watching the train tracks of our economy, and I'm just like, woo! This is gonna be rough. And no, Henry, I'm giving you a hard time busting your chops. That's how we show love in my family. By relentless teasing and belittling. But it's like, I see what the manufacturers are doing, and I go, hey, guys, bad news. And people are like, I don't understand. Something's different. I don't get it. What's Kevin talking about? And I'm like, I'm kind of like this Old Testament prophet. I made the joke before in previous life. But I'm like, up on the hill, like screaming, repent, the end is nigh. The Lord is coming. I'm just howling. Just like, dude, things are bad. Oh, yeah. You want to see me get kicked off of YouTube? Hey, let's watch it. Let me show you why this channel is going to get demonetized. Give me a second. I picked up a new hobby. Buddy of mine built this last week. I'm excited. It's fun. It goes pew. He's getting the gun. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited. This is my first one that I built. I've already got a lower. I'm going to do another. But so yeah. Anyways, working on cars and building engines, and that one's built. I'm going to do another one. That one's all good to go. There's nothing in it. Watch out, Henry. Weapons of war. Oh no. It's black. It's scary. What if I painted it pink and have my daughters paint it pink, and then we could put sparkles and unicorn stickers all over it? Let's see if I get flagged on that one. All right, guys. No, I need a lot on that. There's stuff on order, but wifey isn't terribly excited about me building that. So, anyways, the pink popper. It identifies as a stapler. What are you going to deny its truth? How dare you? Question: should I rent the Antonov AN-225 to transport my skis to Mudbug? That's funny. Pepe Le Pew. Pew Pew. Anyway, I thought about hanging it up back there, and I'm like, well, I don't know how many videos I can do with that hanging up in the background without me getting a notice. So, no, you can't. I've got a Mossberg, and I got one of those. What is it? The American Armory, which is hilarious because it's made out of turkey. So I got two pump actions. I got the AR, and building another AR. Let's see here. What else? Just some other fun stuff, What? Which Mopar engine did I build? I'm hanging out. I'm wasting time. I don't even know what I'm doing, guys. I'm literally goofing off here. But I don't have any time for video games, and I have very, very low opinion of adults who play video games. I really do. I have very low opinions of people who play video games. I'm like, go be productive. All right. You're intellectually masturbating. Do something productive. Question: what is the Mudbug? The Mudbug is a triannual. It's now 3 times a year. Gathering in Morgan City, Louisiana, where hundreds of jet ski enthusiasts meet, and there used to be time trials and drag racing. It's kind of migrated out of that just because of the liability of it. Excuse me. But it's now more of a cruising the bayous, seeing parts of America that you just never see. And it really is what saved my interest in running the Watercraft Journal. It really was. It just, I'll tell you. I mean, I've shared the story a few times before, but Billy Duplessis and his group of people were the reason I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing the Watercraft Journal. Like, I had already started it, but I wasn't like gung ho. But yeah, it was so much fun that it made me want to make a career out of it again. So yeah, it was great. I appreciate that, Michael. It's very nice. Okay, Rodney asks, what engine did I build? I built all my engines. 69 Charger has a 535 cubic inch stroked and bored 440 block that I pulled out of a Winnebago. It's running Hughes, Dave Hughes ported Edelbrock aluminum heads. It's got a Victor Jr. high-rise single-plane manifold that has been knife-edge ported by Chuck Legase of Engine Masters. It is running a pretty mild hydraulic cam, hydraulic roller cam, with a dual-plane manifold and carburetor, made 700 pound-feet of torque and 646 horsepower at the crank. Since then, it has gone EFI. Since then, it's gone to the single plane. Since then, I have changed rockers. I have changed headers. I had the heads done, had the manifold done. So I got way more top end. So I'm now around 665 horse and about 680 pound-feet of torque, lost in torque. Mudbug is a colloquialism for a crawdad, and so the area is known for its crawfish broils, and everyone gets a big old tub of sausage and corn and potatoes and onion and crawfish, and they all boil it in a bunch of, like Tony Chachere's, and pour it out on a big table, and you eat crawfish broils. I just hate, guys, I have such a problem with eating bugs that I just can't jive with. The meat is delicious. The food is good, but don't make me pull it out of its shell. Don't make me take its head off and pull its arms and legs off. I'm not into that. I went to the crab cooker. I went to, what was it, Pier 19 in San Francisco. This was like 2004. It was earlier than that. It was like 2002. When I think it's Pier 19. Is that or Pier 29? Is that what it is in San Francisco? And I know, Billy. I know. I'm soft. I get it. I know. But I dropped $100 on. I'm like, I'm gonna eat crab. I'm gonna eat all the crab I can ever want. And I sat there and I'm like, I dropped more money for less food. It was more effort just to get the meat out of these damn things. Lobster tail, I get. But, dude, the effort to get meat out of crab and the effort to get meat out of crawfish. Now, I'll tell you what, you take me out for crawfish boudin, I'll eat that all day long. That was outstanding. Okay? Boudin, I love boudin. You got to say it right. Boudin. But I'll tell you, but you give me a crawfish and go, here you go. Eat that. I'm like, that's a giant cockroach. I don't want to eat that. That scares the hell out of me. So I'm just saying. So Billy's got to take us to some waterfront eatery and we'll eat real Cajun food. I'm all for it. But yeah, guys, they're big sea roaches. I know I'm in the wrong on this one. I know everyone's going to be like, you're a freaking idiot. I get it. But dude, it's so much work for so little food. All right. It's just a ton of work. Anyway, is that making me lazy? I guess. Okay. Engines, going back to engines. Okay. So the Charger is a good 660, 680 motor. All right. But it's on a vacuum pump. I know I've got way too much blow by. The motor runs out of cam around 6,100 RPM. Just if I'm going to run low tens, it's got to get some work, and I'm not going to put that kind of work and money into a stroker wedge motor when I can build a Hemi. And I have a Hemi block. I have Hemi heads on order. I have rocker stands and shafts. The crank and rods that are in the 535 are going to go into the 572 Hemi. I've got a 505 small stroke wedge motor that's going to take the place of the 535 in the Charger. It's a higher revving. It's gonna ring out really fast. You will own nothing but nothing. You will own nothing. Any bugs? Well, he misspelled it, but you will own nothing but bugs by 2030. It's pretty funny. The summer bug, David. Yeah, just don't make me pull the damn things apart. Oh, it's so gross. Ugh. You got all the shells sitting there. You got a big pile of bug shells right there. And then you get like the real authentic guys are sitting there sucking on the head, and you're like, bro, this is. It makes you want to be a Hasidic Jew and just live the kosher law and not eat. You're like, I'll pass. All right. Can you explain the proper way to check the oil? No, because your manual does. Read your manual. Watch the video that I did on reading your manual. I did a video on how to read your manual. That's embarrassing. All right. Yes, Southern people. No, Southern people eating chicken wings. Am I right on that one? I've seen dudes eat the cartilage out of joints and pull the marrow out of bones. I'm surprised they didn't eat the bone. I am telling you, dude, moving to Tennessee, I am like, oh, you eat everything. That was impressive to me. All right. But yeah, I plan on building a 572 cubic inch Hemi. That's a 4.5 stroke by 4.5 inch bore. The block's already bored 4.5 inches. I have a 4.5 inch stroke Eagle crank, and the crank's immaculate. It's beautiful. I do think I have too much play between the connecting rods, so I'm gonna have to change the connecting rods. But when I build that Hemi motor, it's going to be a naturally aspirated pump gas 800 horsepower. I want to be able to beat a Demon naturally aspirated. That's, well, not in the quarter mile. The car is not set up for it. But I will run low tens in the quarter with a street driven Charger, and it'll have the Hemi tags on the door, and it'll be a 69 Hemi Charger RT clone, and I'll piss off every Mustang that I ever come across, at least on the street. You come in on a trailer, I know you're going to wipe the floor with me. But that's okay. You know, it's just fun having a rowdy car on the street. Okay, for those who won prizes, please email me, info@watercraftjournal.com. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's an email. I want to thank crap. Who was it who set me straight on the E-Tech? Aaron. Yeah. I want to thank Aaron for helping us out with that one. That was very, very helpful. That's going to change my email that I send off to corporate again to follow up. But thanks for the super chats, guys. Appreciate it. This was the first of the month. I'm going to try really hard to have a live session for next Sunday. I do not know if that'll be humanly possible, as I will be driving home Sunday from Louisiana, and that is a 11-hour drive. So if not, I would have noticed up on the community page and on the Watercraft Journal Facebook page. And that will be that. So, guys, thanks again for hanging out. I know there was just a lot of goofing off. We were done talking about our topic by less than an hour in. So we'll talk soon. Thanks again. Please tune into the Watercraft Journal YouTube channel if you haven't already subscribed. And please, please, please subscribe to the newsletter to get all of our articles that are coming in. All right. Yes. You will own nothing and eat bugs by 2030. You will eat the bugs. If you think we're joking, go ahead and look up the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum are the ones making all of the international monetary policy. The U.S. Democratic Party and the UK Liberal Party and the Canadian Liberal Party all listen to the World Economic Forum. And it's being ran by a man who looks like a Bond villain. And if you think I'm joking, look it up. On that note, have a good night.